Okay, carrying on from our animation, what I'm going to do is look at bringing a camera in here, starting to animate that, and using motion paths as well to animate objects. So let's get started. We've got our bouncing ball from part one of this. So what I'm going to have is the camera following this, and maybe even just coming round on this, coming to rest on the ball. Okay, so let's start off by creating a camera. So I'm just going to go into my create cameras, and I'm going to create a camera with an aim, sometimes known as a target camera as well. Let's bring this out. Oops. So this camera has two parts, as the actual camera, and it also has this node or this helper that it's looking towards. So it's essentially a look-at target. So wherever I point this, the camera looks. Okay, and this makes it quite useful to do things like follow objects. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this aim just over to our object, maybe kind of down in the center. I don't really want this camera to go up and down. And then I'm going to click on the camera, and a useful thing we can do in Maya is go to panels, look through selected. We can actually use our normal viewport controls to position this camera essentially where we want it. Okay, I'm just going to put the film gate on this. You can actually see the true space we're working with around there. I just go to my panels again, perspective, and just my perspective. You can see there we've got this camera. Okay, and there's the aim on there. So first of all, I'm going to animate this aim, this target. So I'm just going to click on S to create a keyframe, and let's go forward right up to the end of this, and let's just in fact let's just bring this, yeah, let's just bring this back and click on the right one. Let's see if we can switch surface off on this. There we go. Work out where this is going. Just going to go into here on one of these views. I'm just going to go and look through this camera, and then on my top view, I can actually see what's happening with this. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this is, with my auto key on, just move this forward. Maybe just move it. Now we've got my camera and my target animating up to that point. Okay. So let's look at the camera. So we can do similar things with this. We can do similar things with this. I can just animate this, keyframe it, but what I'm going to do instead is just show you this idea of motion paths. I wouldn't necessarily use this all the time, but it can be useful. But just to show you the way that you can use this, use motion paths. I'm going to create just a CV curve. Okay, press enter. Let's just go into the control verts for this. what I also want to do with this, let's just drag this, and then maybe bring these down a little bit. So this is going to be my camera path essentially. Let's just click out this, F8. So what I'm going to do, grab my camera. Now the camera's going to shift in this first position. We could actually get this exactly in the center of the camera. Let's see if we can do that. Let's just go into this control vert point and let's see if we can V, just to snap that into the pivot point of this camera. Okay, so pressing V down and then just dragging that point out. So let's go back into our F8. Let's grab the camera, let's shift, click on the path, and then we can go to animate. I'm going to go to motion paths and attach to motion path. I'm just going to click on to the actual tool. You can change all of the settings within the attribute editor over here. Okay, and obviously we can change all the camera parameters as well. Let's just click on this view. Let's just see what's happening here. Okay. I'm just going to click on this camera here. Just going to look at this motion path. So let's look at this parametric length. I don't want this camera to bank along this. Let's just check if everything's okay on the camera coming down. Yep, it looks to be retaining. I'm just checking that it's not rotating in any strange direction. Okay. The nice thing about this as well is that I can actually change the positions or the control verts on the path. So if I want this last point, just go over here. I can actually get this point now. Can start moving it about. Let me grab both of those points, just move those up. And we can change the way that the object moves along the path. Okay. So that's just looking at the camera in a very basic way. Obviously within the camera itself we can start looking at all the different properties for this: focal length, camera scale, angle, clipping planes, you know, lots of different things. So have a look at the camera settings yourself. You can actually look at creating a very realistic camera out of all of these. But that's it. That's our quick look at animation. In the next tutorial we're going to look at actually outputting this for render.